Hello, I welcome you all to today's wonderful lesson. It's a continuation from where we ended. So I just want us to revise through these particular questions and see how we can answer if we are to encounter such questions in an exam. So I want you to follow me clearly and attentively. The question is saying in a geometric progression, the third term is 2 over 9 and the fourth term is 2 over 27. Find the first term and the common ratio. And the other thing I want you to know is that this is our last lesson under series and sequences. I guess you've seen how we've done this particular topic, the examples I've given as well as the exercises. I guess you've seen how questions do come in an exam. It is therefore your turn to now study and to be prepared for your exams. So if this is the third term and this is the what? This is the fourth term. These are consecutive terms. They are following each other. Meaning that for us to find the common ratio, what you are going to do is that, so common ratio is equal to, you just say fourth term divide third term. This is the formula you are going to use, where you know that the common ratio is now equal to, what is the fourth term? The fourth term is 2 over 27. You say divide. Divide what? Third term. Where is the third term? The third term is 2 over 9. This is what you are going to do. I guess you know what to do. Common ratio is equal to 2 over 27. This one changes to multiplication. So once it changes to multiplication, these two are going to reciprocate. The 9 goes on top, the 2 comes down. 2 will be cancelled. 9 into 9, it is 1. 9 into 27, that is 3. So the answer that you're going to have is 1 times 1, that is 1, over 3 times the 1 that is here, this is 1. This is 3, I mean. So which means that therefore the common ratio is equal to 1 over what? 1 over 3. This is what you need to do. We've got different ways in which we get to answer these particular questions. This is one way. We now go to the first term. How can we find the first term? We can use the formula of the terms. This is equal to ARN minus 1. This is the formula for the nth term. So what we get to do, this is what we get to do. We say, since we are given the fourth term and the third term, so I can go with the third term. I know the third term is equal to 2 over 9. This I know. So where there is n, I put 3. So this is T3 is equal to, first term is the one I'm looking for. Common ratio, I know 1 over 3 to the power n, which is 3 minus 1. This is what I need to do. So I know third term. What is the third term? 2 over 9 is equal to, you know that is A. This one is 1 over 3 to the power there, it is 2. If you want, you can use the fourth term. You are still going to find an answer. So this is another way in which you get to answer these questions. You only do like this, the way I've done here, if you are having consecutive terms. But if you are given that the second term is this and you are given the fourth term, these are not consecutive terms. So meaning you cannot use formulas like this. You get to form what we call what? Simultaneous equations. We get to form simultaneous equations. So that is what we get to do, and that is what you need to understand. But if these are consecutive terms, they are following each other, meaning that we just need to answer them like this. We find the common ratio, then we substitute. This is just the same as 2 over 9 is equal to. This one is just 1 squared, it is 1. So you just add there over. What is 3 squared? 3 squared meaning 3 times 3, which is 9. What do we do here? You cross multiply. 9 times 2, that is 18, which is equal to 9 times a, that is 9a. You divide both sides by 9, even here by 9. So what are you having here? This cancelled. Therefore, a is equal to 2. So a is what? A is 2. So for you to answer, I guess you've seen how I've answered these particular questions. So a is what? A is 2. So we've answered these particular questions where we know that common ratio was equal to 1 over 3 and a, which is the first term, is equal to 2. So we've answered that particular question. Let us now move to question B. We move to another question. Question B is saying that we find the sum. You find the what? Sum of the first. Find the sum of the first 5 terms. How can you find the sum of the first 5 terms? So you are told to find the sum of the first 5 terms. How can you find the sum of the first 5 terms? Before you look at the sum, I told you that we need to see or look at the common ratio. The common ratio is 1 over 3. So meaning that the common ratio is less than what? 1. If the common ratio is less than 1, the formula we need to use, this is the formula we use. A, like this, we say 1 minus common ratio power n over 1 minus common ratio. This is a particular formula we use if the common ratio is less than 1. This is the formula you are supposed to use. Where you know that the first term is 2, common ratio is 1 over 3. N, the number of terms that you are told to find, sum of the first 5 terms. So n is what? N is 5. This is a data that is given. How then do we answer a question? How can we answer a question? We substitute now. In this particular formula that I've written here, it is just a matter of substituting. So how then do you substitute? You say S, N is 5, which is equal to, what is A? First term, which is 2. 1 minus R, common ratio, which is 1 over 3. So 1 over 3 to the power what? 5. Then I do this over 1 minus common ratio is 1 over 3. So this is what I am having. This is what I am solving for. I say, okay, sum of the first 5 terms is equal to 2, like this. I say 1 minus. What answer am I getting there? What answer am I going to get? So when I say 1 to the power 5, I am going to get a 1. I guess you know that. I'm going to get 1. I say 1 over. That is what I'm doing. Then I say 3 to the power 5. 3 to the power what? 5. What is the answer? The answer is 243. I do this. Everything here over what? What is down there? What is the answer there? If you evaluate what is down here, 1, so maybe there is one who doesn't know what to do when I say evaluate. You say over 1, you do this. What you are going to do is that you say, what is the lowest common denominator? It is 3. 1 into 3, it is 3. 3 times 1, that is 3. Minus 3 into 3, 1. 1 times 1, that is 1. The answer we are getting is 2 over what? 2 over 3. So 2 over 3 is the answer. So there I just say 2 over what? Over 3. Where I'm going to continue and say sum of the first 5 terms is equal to. So sum of the first 5 terms is equal to what? 2. If I evaluate what is there, like the way I did here, I'm going to get 242 over 243. I do this. This is division. Division changes to multiplication, where the 3 goes on top and the 2 down. This is division. When it changes to multiplication, what is there? This one. The numbers are going to reciprocate. So I say sum of the first 5 terms is equal to. So I know that if I get to multiply, the 2 that is there can cancel out with the 2 that is there. Have you seen? These 2 can cancel out. Where I'm going to have this times that, I'm going to have 686 over what? 243. This is the answer that I'm going to have. So if you divide there, you discover that the answer that you are going to get, the answer will be like 2.82. So you can end here. You can end here or there. They are still going to mark you. So this is the sum of the first 5 terms. This is what you need to do. These are certain things you need to put into consideration. So let's make sure that we know how to work out these things. Let's make sure that we know how to answer questions that will come in an exam. Just like this. How can you improve? You can only improve by practice. They say practice makes perfect. So if you are able to practice through, you may find certain difficulties here and there, but the more you practice, the more you get to know these things. So let's make sure that we practice more. Let's make sure that we are solving a lot. Even as we get to conclude this particular topic, I want you people to be solving on a daily basis. I want you people to be practicing these things on a daily basis. Let us now move on to the other last question. The last question was just telling us to find the sum to infinity. C is saying you find the what? You find the sum to infinity. How can you find sum to infinity? So how can you find sum to infinity? This is a question. Sum to infinity. I gave you a formula to use. Formula is just this is the formula where you just say A over 1 minus R. This is a formula we use, 1 minus what? 1 minus R. Where I'm going to say, okay, I know that sum to infinity is equal to A first term. First term is 2 over what is 1 minus common ratio 1 over 3. So if I work out this particular question, what am I going to have? Sum to infinity is equal to 2. This is division. If I work out this, I'm going to get 2 over 3. I'm just from working out this one. So I guess no one is facing challenges. The way I found that one, that's how you are supposed to do even here. This one changes to times. So sum to infinity is equal to 2 times 3 over 2. The moment it changes to times, the number on your right hand side, this fraction, it is going to reciprocate, meaning that the 3 goes on top, the 2 comes down. So it is at this particular point now where you just say sum to infinity is equal to this and that to cancel out. You are going to remain with a 3. So sum to infinity is equal to 3. Under sum to infinity, I guess you know that we find the modulus of the common ratio, which should be less than what? Less than 1. You need to make sure that the common ratio, the modulus, if it is negative, you change it to a positive. If it is greater than 1, it means that the sum to infinity of that particular progression does not exist. So just make sure that you look at the common ratio. If the common ratio is greater than 1 and you are told to find the sum to infinity, just say no solution. Reason because the common ratio, the modulus of the common ratio is less than 1. That is what you are supposed to do. Let us now move on to the other question. So we move on to the next question. So let us move on to the next question. We are revising through, and I just want you to see how we get to answer these particular questions. Let us move on to the other one. This is another question. So how can we answer this particular question? The question is saying that the first three terms of a GP are k plus 4, k, and 2k minus 15, where k is a positive constant. Find k. How can we find k? For us to answer this particular question, they have told us that where k is a positive constant, as a mathematician, you need to be sensitive. Why have they said that where k is a positive constant? So it means that you are going to find two answers, but you are just interested in the positive value. So what we are going to do is that we know the formula to use. We say T3 over T2, which is equal to T2 over T1. This is a particular formula we need to use. We know that we've got the data T1 is equal to what? The first term, that is k plus 4. We've got second term, which is just a k that is there. We also have the last term, which is constant, is equal to, the third term is equal to what? Is equal to 2k minus 15. This is the information that you are given. How can you answer this question? We substitute k3, that is t3, that is third term, which is here. This is second term, k, which is equal to second term, that is a k, over first term, t1. Where is t1? Is that one. So the first three terms of the progression, the same way they are given. So this is the first term, this is the second term, and this one there is the third term. So you just answer questions the same way they are. So first term is what? K plus 4. This has now become an equation. We solve this particular equation. We find the value for what? We find the value for k. So we cross multiply. That is 2k minus 15 being multiplied by k plus 4, which is equal to k times k. That is just k what? K squared. We expand this. How do we expand? 2k times k, that is 2k squared. 2k times 4, that is 8k, minus 15 times k, that is 15k. 15 times 4, negative 15 times 4, that is negative 60, which is equal to k squared. Here, group the like terms. This is 2k squared. This is positive. When it comes inside, it becomes negative k squared. 8, negative 8, negative 15. What are we doing? We are adding. What are we getting here when we add? So when we add here, we are getting 23, isn't it? We are going to get 23. So here, 2k times k, that is 2k squared. 2k times 4, this one was supposed to be positive, so there was a mistake there. Hope you've seen. When we move 2k times k, that is 2k squared. 2k times 4, it was supposed to be positive, but I wrote a negative. So I hope you've seen that. Here, what is the answer here? 8 minus 15, that is negative 7k, minus 660, which is equal to 0. This one, 2 minus 1. Here the coefficient is 1. So 2 minus 1, that is just 1. So I'll say k squared minus 7k minus 60 equal to what? Equal to 0. This has now become a quadratic equation. So it is just a matter of solving a what? A quadratic equation. The question that you need to have: do I know how to solve a quadratic equation? If you don't know how to solve a quadratic equation, then things become difficult here. So you find the product. Product negative 60. Sum. So I guess we all know how to solve a quadratic equation. If you don't know, when I give an exercise, when submitting, you need to tell me that, okay, me, I don't know how to solve a quadratic equation. So tell me that, okay, I don't know how to solve a quadratic equation, so that I shed more light on that part. Sum, that is negative 7. If you go to the factors, two numbers that you can multiply to get negative 60. Add them, you get negative 7. That is negative 12 and 5. If you multiply this, you are going to get negative 60. If you add them, negative 7. Since k is just standing alone here, what we are supposed to do, we just say k minus 12. K, that is plus 5, which is equal to 0. Where you know that this is k minus 12 is equal to 0, or k plus 5 is equal to 0. This is k is equal to 2. When this is negative, when it goes this side, it becomes positive. So 12. Or k is equal to negative 5. Because that side, the sign will change. So where I just conclude, therefore, k is equal to 12. K is equal to what? 12, which is a what? A positive constant. A positive constant. So it means that k is equal to what? K is equal to 12. This is the value for k. This is how you answer questions, and this is what you are supposed to do. These are simple things, and they become more simple if you are studying. So here, if you are saying me, I'm not understanding what you are solving, especially on this part, you've understood this concept. But the thing is that maybe you don't know how to factorize quadratic expressions by using factorization method. Or maybe you don't know how to work out algebraic expressions, how to factorize all those things. So that is a prerequisite knowledge that you need to understand. So let's make sure we practice through. The more we practice, the more we understand. So the more you practice something, the more you are grounded in that same thing. So this is how we were supposed to answer the question. The next question was telling us to say, find, so the next question, after we find k is 12. So we know that the value for k is equal to 12. So we know that find k is 12. The next question, we were told to say list. They want you now to do what? To list the first 3 terms. First 3 terms. So told to list the first 3 terms of the progression. First 3 terms of the what? Progression. So progression like this. So how can you list the first 3 terms of the progression? What is the first term? First term is what? First term is k plus 4. Since k is 12, 12 plus 4, that is 16. Second term, that is k, which is just a 12. Third term, that is 2k minus 15. So where you know that 2 times 12 minus 15, what answer are you getting? You are getting a 9. So these are certain things you are supposed to do. This is what you need to get and understand, just like this. The other mistake that I noticed, people were able to do this, but no one was concluding. If I'm not mistaken, only a few get to do this. So you conclude, therefore, the first, you are concluding, don't just end here. You just do this, you are done. No, you conclude the first 3 terms. The first 3 terms of a progression. So of the progression are first one, that is 16. Second one, that is 12. Third one, that is 9. You do this. It is just what going. As long as you've shown the first 3 terms that they are interested in. This is where we are going to end from. So this is where we end from. I guess we've revised through and we've seen how we get to answer these particular questions. This is what you need to do. These are questions you expect in an exam. So this is where we are going to end from, and let's make sure we do a wonderful work in the exercise that I'm about to test you with. This is where we end from. Thank you so much.